What's good? It's Woog. I did not see that coming. Liam Smith just stopped Chris Eubank Jr. in the 4th round. And there was nothing controversial about this stoppage, about what just happened. I mean, Chris Eubank Jr. basically won the first 3 rounds and then got caught up against, in the corner where the ropes intersect and just got beaten on. He was playing with fire with the whole hands down style. And yes, Liam Smith got off to kind of a slow start and Chris Eubank Jr. kept on popping the jab. But when you insist on keeping your hands down and kind of doing that, Russian roulette style where you better make the dude miss with damn near everything because you're just trying to roll with it, and you are allowing yourself to start getting caught against the ropes and such. So, I mean, it takes getting caught once cleanly to change the whole complexion of the fight. And in the 4th round, Chris Eubank Jr. got smacked up top with the right hand. He basically rolled back and he was making Liam Smith miss a lot, but then he came back from kind of bouncing against the ropes and then his body came back towards Liam Smith. Liam Smith caught him with a beautiful right hand. And Chris Eubank Jr. was kind of in trouble. He was clearly stunned. So then he was trying to do the rock back and forth thing to basically just get out of trouble once he was badly hurt. And then Liam Smith caught him with a beautiful left uppercut. You can see Chris Eubank Jr.'s eyes go upward. He was out of it. And then he managed to stay on his feet after getting blasted by that uppercut. And then Liam Smith threw one right hand, kind of glanced or somewhat missed, but he came right across with the left hook that sealed the deal. Chris Eubank Jr. fell against the ropes, kind of pulled himself back up. Truly, the fight should have probably have been stopped after that point because the way he staggered forward after pulling himself back up to his feet, he was out on his feet. But he did beat the 10 count. He did enough. I don't think he was obeying instructions exactly, but the ref let it continue, and he, within seconds, was holding on for dear life, just getting hit more, and then ended up getting dropped again. And, when he tried to get back up, he kind of was stumbling forward into the ref's torso area, and the ref just looked at him and stopped the fight. And this is huge for Liam Smith. I mean, is he going to take that Golovkin opportunity if there is one? Because, now Triple G could go to the UK, and it's a big deal. Because now Liam Smith has this renewed glow. He had been on a run since his last loss to Kurbanov. But this win, stoppage win, this is going to be listed as a TKO, but this is like a knockout type of a TKO because of how badly hurt Chris Eubank Jr. was. And Liam Smith, right now, his name has got to be in the mix anywhere at middleweight in terms of people having a willingness to want to fight him because of, the UK fan base and because of the dramatic nature of this knockout win and kind of, what was shaping up to be and did shape up to be sort of a rivalry type match because of the controversial back and forth at the press conference. There was a lot of bad blood in this one. And for Liam Smith to pull off the knockout after dropping the first 3 rounds in the way that he did, that was brilliant. Look, Liam Smith was getting rifled with a few uppercuts coming from Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank was looking really nice, just popping him with that jab and the timing, the way Liam Smith was coming in, and then Chris Eubank Jr. would time him with the jab, so Liam Smith is kind of stepping into the jab a few of those times. It was looking like, oh man, is Liam Smith going to start toning down the pressure or perhaps get discouraged because he keeps on walking into these punches and then getting hit with just a multitude of uppercuts? Liam Smith had to know in the back of his mind that he was playing for the back half of this fight. Maybe he didn't even know that his opportunity to corner and to catch and hurt Eubank would have come this early. 4th round is pretty damn early. And the idea was that if Liam Smith was going to win this fight, that it was going to be because he was banking rounds, outworking Chris Eubank Jr. I don't think that people expected Chris Eubank Jr.'s chin to get rocked like it did. This guy went the 12-round distance up at 168 against George Groves, who's got a lot of pop, a lot of size. Even at 168, a lot of size. Chris Eubank Jr., beat James DeGale. And just a couple of years ago, he had a small stint on PBC. And, we were wanting to see maybe Chris Eubank Jr. fight Jermall Charlo. Chris Eubank Jr. was seen as having elite talent. Liam Smith was almost seen as, one, probably not being as good as his younger but bigger brother, Callum Smith. But also somebody who every time he would step up and fight an elite or near elite guy, the idea was that, he was probably going to lose that one. And, another possible opponent going forward at middleweight, another DAZN fighter, although at Golden Boy, Jaime Munguia. They have fought a few years ago down at 154, and Jaime Munguia won via decision. And I remember then, thinking, damn, Liam Smith is really hanging in there because, Jaime Munguia was massive at 154, and he was kind of a buzzsaw around the time, just after he stopped Saddam Ali to really make his statement. But that might be another attractive option for Liam Smith. And, it would be a rematch. And Jaime Munguia, it wouldn't look great from Jaime Munguia's standpoint because of how he has been selecting his opponents fight over fight, really not taking on any, elite, near elite, or near elite opponents at 160. It's really been a disappointing run for Jaime Munguia, but that could be an attractive option for Liam Smith. Although I would personally still pick Jaime Munguia to beat Liam Smith, even this rejuvenated, resurgent version of Liam Smith. But man, make no mistake, this is a big deal. Him knocking out Chris Eubank Jr. in the way that he did. This was dramatic. I was just sitting there stunned for a few minutes, just trying to wrap my head around what I had just witnessed. And you see that knot under Chris Eubank Jr.'s eye as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some facial break in there. That was kind of an unusual swelling under the eye. Sometimes you'll see a hematoma above the eye. Think Hasim Rahman versus Evander Holyfield. But yeah, there was clearly some damage to that side of Chris Eubank Jr.'s eye. And I think that it was a result of that last left hook that sent Chris Eubank Jr. to the canvas for the first time. Because, that was a beautiful combination. Chris Eubank Jr. should not have been in the ropes and in the intersection of the ropes. Even worse than being on the ropes is being where the ropes meet. And that's where Chris Eubank Jr. found himself, or near there, when he bounced against the rope and got caught by that first right hand. And again, that left hand that came a few punches later, it was picture perfect. And you saw that Chris Eubank Jr. was out on his feet at that point. And then that last left hook was just for good measure. So this was a significant event. And it kind of sucks because, the crowd was booing Chris Eubank Jr. even after he showed that level of class in his post-fight in-ring interview, congratulating Liam Smith and just basically, speaking very decently about his opponent and being humble in defeat. And he was still getting at least a good amount of boos coming from the crowd, but it is what it is. And I really don't know how Chris Eubank Jr. confidence-wise is going to recover from this one. He wasn't the most active fighter as is, even though he did fight when he fought Marcus Morrison and he fought somebody just after that. Then he fought Liam Williams. So after that COVID hiatus, after his, 2-round fight against Matt Korobov, he had been a lot more active. So this setback, I don't see him getting right back in the saddle and then taking a string of fights. I think Chris Eubank Jr. was at a point where if he was to get past this Liam Smith, he was just about to have that big Conor Benn fight. Now all of that takes a big step back. So is he going to jump right back in the ring and take on lesser competition for a couple of fights to build his confidence back and to hopefully be in another, big money situation? We'll see how that one unfolds. But yeah, Liam Smith just snatched all of that. Whatever Chris Eubank Jr. had momentum-wise, Liam Smith, I think in one swoop, just took it away with this dramatic knockout. We could see Liam Smith fight Conor Benn. Nothing is off the table at this point, especially within the, the different promotional outlets, Cali Sauerland and Wasserman Boxing and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy. They're all in the DAZN platform and that little suite of promotional outlets. So nothing is off the table in terms of what might be next for Liam Smith. But damn, I was not expecting this. I thought that if Liam Smith was going to win, it was going to be probably via decision. But I thought that Chris Eubank Jr. was going to knock Liam Smith down at some point and probably pull off a close 1 to 2 round decision win. I thought that that's how this one was going to go down. But damn, this changes a lot. Wow, we just saw Chris Eubank Jr. get knocked out. And we just saw Liam Smith earn the biggest most significant and maybe most unexpected, like in terms of who the betting favorite was. I mean, I know Liam Smith versus Liam Williams, those were close and competitive fights, but look, most people thought that Chris Eubank Jr. was probably going to win, although I will say I did see a lot of commentary from fans and media saying that Liam Smith either has a very good chance of winning this one, which I did. I thought that there was a very reasonable chance. I just put the percentages at like 60-40, with the 60% chance going to Chris Eubank Jr. But I do credit a lot of fans on YouTube and on Twitter for saying Liam Smith is actually going to not only beat Chris Eubank Jr., but I saw a lot of people actually saying he was going to knock him out, like stop him. And they were right in this case. So yeah, this was a big one. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith and what it means for both of those guys' futures, immediate futures in the sport. But yeah, talk to me in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are into the fight talk. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.